I'm going to look at the other side of the camera just to make sure it's recording. All right, there we go. So, Horizon Forbidden West. I wanted to love it. I pre-ordered it. It's the only game I ever pre-ordered because I loved the first game so much and trusted it. But it's kind of disappointing. They completely ruined the tripwire and trap system by adding unnecessary bullshit limitations that make absolutely no sense in the real world. Like, if I have 8 tripwires in my inventory, let me lay down 8 tripwires. Don't stop me at fucking 3. Did Aloy forget how to lay more than 3 tripwires on the ground? Like, how did she become less competent from the last game to this game? Adding a limitation like that doesn't make sense in-game, and it takes away all the fun. Like, if I want to make a spider web to lead the machines through, let me do it. I can't do it anymore in this game because you're limited to the tripwires and you can't put as many down. It makes no sense in the game logic either. They also add a lot of stupid additions to human combat. I wanted less human combat, not more human combat. Now it's like every fundamental system has been broken, crippled since the last game, or made overly complicated so that it's not fun anymore. Like, you have to hit the person until you find a super target on their body, and then you have to quick aim the arrow at them to hit them in order to damage them. I hate that. And it's made necessary for so many of the enemies, and it is unavoidable, and it's terrible. I don't know how they justified adding that to the game. And all the yellow lines for climbing, when you put on your focus to see where you can climb, all those yellow lines take you out of the game far more than those yellow ropes ever did in the first game. Like, they stood out because they were there because it made sense in the game world that people put them there so that they could be seen, so they could be climbed. That made sense, a little bit of a logical sense. It also makes a logical sense that Aloy should be able to sense climbable ledges with her focus. But it just makes it look like the game developer's debug mode and takes you out of the game even more. Hi, Skittles. That's my cat talking here. She wants to go outside, but I have the door closed for sound purposes. What are my other notes here? And somehow the NPCs have been made less interesting, or at least more annoying to look at. Like, they have no personality in their faces anymore. All the guys are these shaven, butter-faced, white pasty guys, and even when they're wearing tribal clothes, and it just looks wrong. And they're always creeping on Aloy, always, like, that's very unnecessary. Since Elden Ring came out, I haven't picked up Forbidden West, and I kind of don't want to because of those limitations. Putting down traps for like randomly, going out and hunting, laying down spider webs for traps. That was one of my favorite things to do in the game, just because it was something I could do in the game. And they took that away from me. So why the fuck am I playing the game anymore? If they took the most fun aspect that I personally enjoyed out of it, what am I getting out of the game? Just lots of boring dialogue that goes nowhere and looking at ugly people. I love the POC in the game are amazingly done. But the pasty people are quite just, they're all annoying looking. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's weird. I don't care either way. I'm not offended. It's not offense. It's just, why can't I enjoy some faces too? I enjoy a lot of those faces, but you can't enjoy any of the Caucasian faces because they all look dumb. Like they made it to look dumb and on purpose. I don't know. Again, I'm not offended. I'm not that kind of person that cares about that kind of thing. It's just weird. Anything else here? Let's see. Yeah, because Elden Ring and Zero Dawn both excelled at that free figuring out yourself freedom of play that Forbidden West completely stripped out of the game. Maybe they added more weapons to add more variety, but I don't care about the other weapons. I just want to use the tripwires, like I always did. Tripcaster, is that what it's called? And that should be made available to me as it is a Horizon game. If I don't want to have to engage in the unnecessary extras, I shouldn't have to. Those should all be on the side. The first time I went into one of the cauldrons in this game was probably the last time I will ever go into a cauldron in these games. I hated them in Zero Dawn, and I hate them in Forbidden West. They're even worse here. They're so confusing, and they're not fun, and the aesthetic wears out 5 minutes into it. Just let me outside into the forest, into the beautiful jungles, and the beautiful beaches and deserts, and all sorts of beautiful natural environments, fighting giant machines. I don't want to fight people. I don't want to talk to a lot of people. Just let me fight machines. Give me the freedom to fight them how I want to. If I have 8 tripwires, let me lay down 8 tripwires. Don't stop me at fucking 3. Why is nobody mentioning all these bullshit added limitations? Come on. Reviewers, wake up. Why aren't you mentioning these? These have completely ruined the gameplay experience for me. What do you guys think?